Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Eid Mubarak and welcome to a very special Eid edition of Sports Extra. I mean a fantastic Ramadan full of blessings, and now it's Eid day to celebrate with all of your loved ones as well. From me, my entire team, the entire team of PTV World and PTV in general, and of course Sports Extra and Ahmed Nawaz, we wish you a very, very blessed and happy Eid Mubarak. Of course, the first day of Eid is always special. I'm sure you've been having a great day so far. You've enjoyed the lovely food. You've offered your prayers, of course. You've been distributing. And of course, if you're on the younger side, you've been getting a lot of Eid as well. So we sincerely hope that, because I think that is a very touchy subject when we talk about that. But nonetheless, I think as always, we're here and we're going to be celebrating Eid with some very, very special people, with all of you as well. Obviously, work comes first, and our work family is also very dear to us at the same time. So I think Eid is never complete if we're not celebrating it with our viewers as well. So once again, like I said, Eid Mubarak to you, and we hope that you've got a great day. Still 2 more days to come. Enjoy it responsibly. Take care of your loved ones. Don't forget the people who are from the less privileged side of life, and of course, like I said, make peace with everybody. So no hatred on Eid, is it? So just go ahead, make love to everybody. And like I said, you know, you've got extended families. The beauty of Pakistan and our culture here is that we've got family, then extended family. So I think it becomes very special. But like I said, we'll be talking to some very special people who are joining us to celebrate Eid with us on PTV World, on Sports Extra. First of all, we've been joined by a lady who's a national volleyball player. She runs her own academy as well. When you talk about the field of volleyball, she's there and she's still trying to promote it as much as she can as well. And so we'll be talking about her career and also how she's going to be celebrating Eid. And then of course, obviously it becomes tricky. Are you training on Eid or are you not? Are you getting some time off? That's very important, because we certainly aren't getting any time off, are we? So we're going to be talking to her as well. Joining us this Eid, first of all, is national volleyball player Misbah Hina. Assalamu alaikum, Eid Mubarak. How are you?
Eid Mubarak. Thank you so much.
Great to have you on the show.
Thank you
so much for being with us, and I hope that Eid becomes special for you as well, as it will be for everybody else. And of course, like I said, a lot more to talk about as well, and we're going to be talking to so many special people. Joining us with Misbah is somebody, because obviously growing up in Pakistan, you're traditionally very much cricket oriented. So I think we can always talk about cricket. And if you don't have a cricketer, for me, it's never going to be complete, is it? But this gentleman has been able to represent Pakistan at the highest level. When you talk about his career, whether I remember his batting stance, whether I remember, because I'm a personal fan of Test cricket more, so I do remember some of the heroic innings there as well. But talk about phenomenal stats: 25 Test matches at an average of 32.4, more than 1,400 runs, 56 ODIs, 2,000 runs, first class career, phenomenal. More than 12,000 runs in 216 games at an average of 34, and then list A 206 games, 57 T20s as well, more than 6,000 and 1,600 runs there as well. Test cricketer Yasir Hamid is joining us. Yasir bhai, Assalamu alaikum. Eid Mubarak.
Walaikum salam, thank you.
Great to have you on the show.
Same here.
Eid Mubarak to you and your family. How's it been so far?
It's good, you know, normal.
Normal routine Eid.
Yeah,
Normal routine Eid as well. Now when we talk about sporting avenues, there's a lot more to talk about as well. And this time, of course, more often on Sports Extra, you've heard from people who like to be on the road as well, and they like to enjoy the outdoors, they like to enjoy nature, and they like to enjoy their cycle rides as well. When you talk about bicycle rides, they've got we know that in Islamabad you've got a fantastic destination for cycling. We've got some tracks as well, and then we've got a complete contingent that often takes rides on and off in a group. Individually, that's there as well, but there is a lot of popularity for cycling in Pakistan. So 2 of them are going to be joining us. We'll be talking to them as well. First of all, we've been joined by Miss Hina Durrani. Assalamu alaikum, Eid Mubarak. How are you?
Eid Mubarak. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being on the show. How's it been so far?
Alhamdulillah, very nice. Lovely Eid day, lovely morning. It's getting a little bit hot, but we're bearing with it.
We're
so
bearing
far,
with
so
it.
good.
Well, I guess we have to bear with it. Still, Eid is a bit behind. If you talk about this, you know, we've remembered those June, July Eids as well. So I think so far the weather has been pleasant. Even in Ramadan, it's not gotten that hot as it has been in the past years as well. So definitely that is the case. And joining Hina, we've got another cyclist. And of course, when I was talking to her before the show, she also told me that she's a 100% housewife as well. So I would say more than 100%, because I realize and recognize the effort that the wives put in, and then of course cycling with it becomes another ball game. So you've got to create that balance in between. But I've been told that she's very smart to treat it as a family activity. So I think that's the smart way to put it. Maliha Noor is joining us as well. Eid Mubarak, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
How are
Eid
you?
Mubarak. I'm good. Ji. How
I'm
are you?
sure your Eid has been busy so far.
So far, yes.
So that's good. I mean, that's the flavor of Eid as well. But that's the case. Busy, meeting family, inviting people over, good food. I'm always a fan of food. You know that already. So I think that's the flavor indeed as well. But first of all, Misbah, let's talk about your Eid. You already belong to a very scenic place of Pakistan. What are the memories of Eid when you say Eid?
For me, Eid is all about family, right? But right now, this Eid, I'm not with my family. My family is in Hunza, back in Hunza. So I'm celebrating my Eid with partially part of my family. Few of those are here with me in Islamabad. So yeah, I really miss them, and I wish that I could be with them. But it's all about, celebrating and having fun and joy with your family.
That's tough, I guess. But I think if you talk about being away from families, then Yasir bhai can relate to it even better, because I do recognize this, that certain times there have been tours away from Pakistan, away from family. It's been tough, hasn't it?
Yeah, a couple of times I was on tour with Pakistan team, and couple of times I was, I had myself, I was in US last year on Ramadan. Before that, I was in Dubai, Saudi Arabia. I spent Ramadan. In England, I spent Ramadan with Pakistan cricket team. So yeah, it's different altogether when you are on tour, and when you are in Pakistan, it's different,
But Yasir bhai, your team becomes your family, because you spend so much time together training, then being as a unit, the team management, everybody. And over the years, we have seen pictures of you guys praying together, enjoying Eid together on tours as well.
Yeah, praying together is, it's part of team now. Every pray they try to pray together. Now when they go on tour, they make a group, and there's always namaz time on it. And Muhammad Rizwan, he used to make.
He's the imam.
Yeah, he's the imam, and that's a very good thing. Ramzan is a beautiful gift of God.
Well, in your times, who was the Inzi bhai was the imam probably?
Inzi bhai was the captain. Imam was different. There are different imam. But,
Imams.
Inzi bhai, he used to. Sometimes he used to lead.
That's special. I think that becomes part of our culture. But it's good to see all the boys gelling together, and it's really fun when you talk about all of these activities. Obviously, when you're traveling with a team, even in any field of life, whether it's your work, your professional careers, wherever you might be, that team actually becomes your family, because you're spending most of the time with them, equal to your family as well. So obviously, you've got great emotional attachment with them as well, and the support is always there. That's good to see, that the support is always there. In our part of the world, in Pakistan, the culture is such that it's very supportive when you talk about Pakistanis in general. So the love, the culture, the hospitality, everything is there. So Miss Durrani, is the cycle out today as well, or is it just resting?
We did not cycle this morning, but I wouldn't mind cycling on Eid day, because it's a day off. So why not wake up early in the morning?
But
and
really,
go
day
for a
off.
ride?
How's Eid been for you? Well, I mean, remembering it right
Well,
now.
over the years when I was younger, it's like Misbah said, it's always family. When you think about Eid, it's always family. So when I was younger, it was always going to the grandparents' house, my dada dadi's house, and they've passed a few years ago, so I missed that. Then growing up, I moved to the US for a number of years. I was there, so I missed family Eid during those years. I was there for 18 years. So at that time, your friends, they become your family, and we used to go to the mosque together. So over there's a concept that even the ladies and the children, everybody, they go together to the mosque and pray, and then you come back and you have a little brunch. Donuts was a big thing. We used to miss halwa puri, which we get here, so we used to make do with donuts there. Moved back to Pakistan, and blessed to be with the family again, blessed to be with parents, in-laws, brothers and sisters. So it's still all about family.
So it's finally, she's finally getting that culture
Yes.
that she's missed. But it's true. I mean, for all of us, most of us who have spent time abroad, it becomes a bit difficult. But at the same time, even if you're in the US, I do second the donut part, because I've personally been there and enjoyed that part of it. Then if you come to the UK side of it, then a lot of gatherings, making desi food and everything is there. But talking about a lot of chores in the house, Maliha, because you're 100 gazillion% housewife now. So how's Eid been so far?
So far, so good. I got to catch up on my sleep a little, which was
Finally.
long due finally after Ramzan. But yes, kitchen is obviously the main duty, and with the little ones, making them get ready for Eid, and planning to visit a few family friends, and that's it.
That's
I think
3 days done. Back to work
3
on
days
the
done,
fourth one.
yes. But we'll be most probably going out for cycling, because that cycling group is our family as well.
Right.
Yes.
So there will be no off from cycling when you talk
No.
about it. There cannot be. I mean, they're anxious to get on cycling, both of them. But I think that's the love for sport that we have, and it must be the same with you and volleyball.
Exactly, it's the same. Because whenever we get back to the volleyball court, all the girls, including me, we were like always so eager to play volleyball. Whenever is there any occasion in the families, or is there any festival? So all of the girls we have in our academy, in our club, all of them are always so eager to play volleyball.
Like I was talking to you as well, you also highlighted that you also have an academy for volleyball. Can you talk us about that as well? Because that's a very special subject.
Yes, exactly. So Volleyball Academy, I named it as Misbah Volleyball Academy. So I initiated that back in 2016 in Hunza, Gilgit-Baltistan. So we are working all over in Pakistan, collaborating with different organizations like US Embassy, because I have been luckily part of the Pakistan-US Alumni Network. So they have been a very great support to us. They have been sponsoring on different events. So we have done a lot of events in Hunza, in Gilgit, and in different areas. So right now we are working in Islamabad Sports Complex. So we have like different age category of girls who are getting the training. So
what's the turnout like? How many girls are you aiming for right now?
Max, we have 20 to 30 girls who are from different colleges and different schools from Islamabad. So we have like different background of school girls. We are not taking any fee from them. It's a free camp for everyone. So, and I'm the coach. I'm giving the training, a free training camp for girls in Islamabad. So we have also been doing different events in Islamabad as well.
Right, that's wonderful. I mean, when you talk about this wonderful initiative that Misbah has just talked about, it's very special to put in your effort, because I think in Pakistan there's a lot of hue and cry about the system, about the resources. But if you put in an individual effort, then you can certainly promote the sport itself and garner much support as you can. And obviously with time, I do understand that support is necessary, logistical, financial, everything. But I think once you take that first hard step of actually establishing it, then I think things do come together, and the way will be there for you to achieve your goals as well. Yasir bhai, May 2003, very special occasion. Before that, even April, when you got your test cap, you still remember those times? It's been a long time now, I recognize.
Yeah, it come back, you know, when the occasion come, when the dates come, you know, when I got my first 100, social media, everything, you know, they just they come, the videos come, you know, so it all comes back.
What was the feeling like when you first got the call that you're going to be playing for Pakistan?
Pakistan, playing for Pakistan is very special thing, very ambitious, and I was very young and ambitious.
Yes.
I was, and it was great honor to represent Pakistan, and at the same time it was like, you know, for playing for Pakistan was a dream. And in our time it was only one, there was only one team, and we had to come in it, you know. Now the cricket expanded. It's very good. T20 leagues are happening now you can,
Diversity is there now.
yeah, diversity is there, and you can you can actually tell the youngsters that go and you can have a career in it.
But you certainly can, because I was going to ask you about the nervousness on your first debut, but then I remember that you scored 200s on your debut, which is a record. So that means the nervousness was not there.
Yeah, it was a butterfly in the stomach. It was a moment when I went in, and when I faced my first delivery, and luckily it was in the slot and I got boundary. And after that, you know, my form was good, and National Stadium Karachi used to play there a lot from PIA, and I played there for 5 consecutive seasons and lot of hundreds there, so I was very confident, and alhamdulillah I got 200s. It was world record. I think I was second person in the history of cricket. So
To score 200s in a debut inning. Yes. That's phenomenal. I mean, I don't want to make Yasir bhai feel old, but we were very young at that time. We still try to imitate his stance, the way he used to bat and everything. But one thing is for sure, and I can actually highlight this, having played cricket myself, not on the Pakistan level, but domestically where I have been.
You mean I got old now? Right?
No, not at all. Like I said, I don't want to say that. But the fact is that I think you might not be playing cricket, but you can never leave cricket. It will always remain in your blood. I mean, even if you're sitting somewhere, your brain would be working so much about cricket. You'll be thinking cricket. You know that famous saying, eat, sleep and breathe cricket, then that is certainly there. You can't take it out as well. Ms. Durrani, same thing with you. I guess cycling is still there and that aura for that. But lucky enough that we're in Islamabad and we've got a great route that we can go.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Cycling is something that when you're on the cycle, I mean, you forget all your worries at that time, and being in Islamabad, that kind of helps because you see the mountains, you see the blossoms these days. So it's just fantastic and I cannot get enough of it.
I've heard that the entourage of our cyclists even adventure up till Murray. They've even done that as well.
Yes, a lot of people have done it. It's on my bucket list. I haven't done it so far. I've done up to Munal, but Murray is something that you need a lot of endurance for, and I'm training for it. So inshallah, hopefully
the return from Munal would have been fun.
Oh my God, it was fantastic. I was scared. The first time I did it, I was actually scared, but after the first time, there's just no turning back. You just go up because you want to come down. It's just fantastic.
Fantastic as well. Maliha, after COVID or during COVID, people realized the importance of staying fit. And I think because everything was shut down, I saw a gradual increase in cycling. Do you agree as well?
Yes. There was a massive increase in cycling during COVID days because that was the only activity which could be done in open airs, and we were away from each other as well. And adding to this, we have a group, cycling group, CMI, Critical Mass Islamabad, and all together, Islamabad Cycling Association, Critical Mass Islamabad and other cycling groups, we try to join together to promote cycling. And we are trying to promote it through multiple ways. We definitely need more sponsors for that. There's one very major step which was taken by the Islamabad Cycling Association, that's by doing cycling Sundays. So every first Sunday of every month, is a cycling Sunday in which the road of Jinnah Avenue is blocked from Beverly Center to D Chowk.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
only for the cyclists. And that's only for promoting cycling, for bringing more and more people on the cycle so that they can have the feel of cycling on the roads and they can feel that safety and security while cycling on that
You
road.
get the whole city to yourself. I think the aggressiveness is there. But I think a right step, because it's very true that initiatives like these will help. I mean, creating an conducive environment for our female cyclists is very important at the same time. But like I said, generally being in Islamabad, it's a bit safer. The awareness is there. People now gradually understand that we need to have a lot of respect towards cyclists, not just on the female side, but the male side as well. I mean, whether it's the flow of traffic, whether it's giving way, everything, each and everything is involved. But I think one good way of promoting it is Sunday, but even cycling on Eid can better promote it as well and take it to a next level. But because it's Eid, and I think Eid is never complete if we're not talking about one of your favorite memories. And this is a very special segment when we talk about your one favorite memory of Eid and one memory which you'd like to forget, because all of us have had some memories on Eid which have been horrendous, be it not getting the right amount of wardrobe, be it losing something very special, be it ending up on the wrong place in the wrong time, being late. There are certain things like that. So like Misbah, first of all, do you remember the best memory of Eid so far growing up?
Yes, of course, because I'm the youngest one in my family, in my extended family
You get all
as
the
well.
perks already.
So yeah, of course. So I have, when I was younger, when I was in school, I used to get a lot of EDs and collecting it from each and every member from my family. So I was lucky enough for that as well. The bad memory would be like for me when I'm not getting the ED, of course, because as you grow up, people are treating you like she's getting older.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah.
But Yasir bhai, I guess same thing.
Yeah, same goes for me as well.
But historically, Eid has changed. If you remember it from your childhood, a lot of get-togethers, a lot of getting together. But now times have changed.
Yeah, times have changed. This I must say, this mobile life, this
Technology.
digital life, this really squeezing the things very quickly, and I must say that like cycling really helped in COVID, and I also did it, and it was really fun. But we have to come out, come out of that shell, that fabricated world, and come into real life, natural life. We have to enjoy this. Sports is is very healthy activity. We must encourage our youngsters towards sports, towards physical activities.
This is a technology generation. Kids don't.
This
leave
is
these
technology,
things.
Generation Z, I must say. Yeah?
I mean, even on the cycle, they'll put the smartphone, plug in their headphones.
Yeah.
What's the fun of it? I mean, you enjoy that part of nature. But Yasir bhai, are you a generous person on Eid, giving away?
Yeah,
Eid?
of course. After 30 Ramzan, you have to be generous, and that what Ramzan teaches us, right? Generosity and givingness. And I think we are blessed. Alhamdulillah, we are Muslims.
I mean, I think Eid is that one part where people actually, especially children, and now I remember our times when we used to get Eid, now we realize what grown-ups went through, that you don't consider anything about the economic situation. You don't care at all. What's the finances? What's the dollar rate right now? Where is the current account deficit? All you want is a handsome amount of Eid and a very new and very I guess inspiring and very attracting kind of a piece of paper, which is called probably 1,000 or more rupees. That's how things go. And it's been special because every Eid we still remember the first thing that was asked, that what's the rate for Eid this time. So I guess that is special. But like I said, nobody cares what the situation is. Everybody wants you to be the most favorite uncle, most favorite brother, most favorite husband, most favorite son, most favorite father. Most favorite cousin, and just give away a lot of Eid as you can. So, Ms. Durrani, a famous saying is that remember your past, but remember the bad times as well. So, first of all, the good memories. Like you said, grandparents obviously there,
Yeah.
but something else you'd like to highlight over the years.
So just the night before Eid, which is called the
Chandrat,
Chandrat. I
yes.
remember when we were young, we just used to go out. There used to be fairs in like Marriott or PC Rawalpindi at that time, where you would just go and they would put like mehndi on your hand, which was kind of like a stamp. And they would just put it like this and it would just stay. And I haven't seen those in so many years. I think they just disappeared. So I still remember we used to do that. That was one of the good memories. Talking about the horrendous ones, I have one of those too. So this was about, I would say about 7-8 years ago. I was visiting Pakistan for Eid, and we went to somebody's house, like you visit family, I won't say who. So we went to their house and I had something from their trolley, and when I come back home, I just felt like I was gonna die. Like I started throwing up, it was so bad. So I was rushed to Kulsum Hospital and I had to stay the next 2 days over there. So that is one of the worst
Came back
Eid
from
memories.
US, you should have acclimatized to the situation first.
I should have. Now I'm good now. I can eat anything. I'm all good now. But
Now
back
you've
in
got
the
that
day-
stomach of steel.
Yes, it's
that
back. I
Pakistani
always
does.
had it. I lost it for a few years. Now I'm back.
No, that's very interesting. I mean, it's often a reality check that when you come from overseas, even if you drink mineral water, you tend to get a bit fizzy. So things like these happen. But I think with time, even if you're having tap water, you'll become very much acclimatized to it, and you don't mind as well. Things are special. We all have those special memories. What about you, Miss Malia? Do you have any special memory you'd like to share?
Special memories were always going to Nanu's house. That was the best time of the Eid. That was always the second day.
Most
by
Eid there,
chance.
probably? Most
Yes,
Eid there?
yes, exactly. All of us cousins would get together there, and everyone would visit Nanu's place, and we would get a lot of Eid. And the horrendous memory would be last year, because I lost my Nani there.
No, very sorry.
And
Yeah.
that's
tragic.
yeah.
I mean, obviously your loved ones will remain with you for the rest of your lives, but the thing is that that is that one memory. That's why it's often said that the first order of business on Eid day after offering your prayers is to visit those loved ones who have passed away. So that's why we have a culture in Pakistan, in our religion as well, that people often visit the graveyards and pay their respect to people who have passed away, especially grandparents and everybody who's lost someone. But that's just part of Eid, and that's part of our culture, that we remember them. Obviously, it's a belief in our religion as well, being Muslims, that one day each and every one of us has to pass. So you've got to honor your dead and pay your respects as well at the same time. Obviously, speaking of memories, we've got very fun ones, and we always discuss them every year. But I think one of mine has to be the fact that when we have a huge family gathering every Eid, and I'm talking about Eid ul-Fitr, of course. and it is on one of our uncle's place, and basically my father's uncle, and we've got the whole extended family and everybody there, and you know, you always want to be there on time because you know people will show up, you don't want to be late, you want to show off your clothes, you want to get Eid as well. But oftentimes I still remember that it has ended up like this, that we've been the very first family to show up, and even the probably the hosts have not waken up. So you know, things turned out bad like this as well, that you're the ones making arrangements and doing stuff as well. But I think one piece of advice to all you young kids out there is try not to wear the color white if you're going on family functions, because trust me, you will spill salan on it, and then you'll spend the whole day trying to get rid of that stain, and you won't get it. And if it ends up even worse, it probably be an orange fizzy drink, and then you know, you've lost that entire day of Eid. But that's the case. That's how Eid has been over the years. But you know, one very pleasant memory over the years has been Eid cards. Do you remember that time when we used to get Eid cards?
Yeah, when there was no mobile phone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
when there was no technology, and when we were young at school, we used to draw cards for our, my younger
Make
siblings.
them yourself?
Yes, make them myself, and for my younger siblings, because they used to study in the cities and I was back in Honza. So I had a great memories making and writing a letter for them as well.
No, that's very nice. I mean, going to an extent of writing letters is something even more special. But Yasir bhai, Eid cards, or would you just sign a ball or a bat to a fan and say Eid Mubarak?
No Eid cards now. This is not Eid card time, but yeah, I used to do this. It was very, you know, faded memory now. Eid cards and
Now just WhatsApp.
now just WhatsApp. Now just we receive cards when we get a gift, and we get that card, you know, small cards written that thank you for
Mini
accepting.
cards, yes.
Mini cards.
Generic cards.
Yeah.
And probably something that PCB sends to everybody, something like that. You know, just
Yeah.
generically send it to everyone. But that's special. There was also a competition of getting the best Eid cards, right?
Yes, yes, there used to be. And I remember first it used to be like handmade cards, then it used to be like you used to buy cards, then e-cards, you used to email those cards. And now it's gone down to texting. And
Yeah.
maybe in the future we won't even do that, right?
Yeah. Telepathy. Just
Yes,
just
I'm
do
thinking
that.
about you, you
Yeah.
should know.
Yeah. That's a good tagline. You probably get it on the back of your cycle, probably. I'm thinking about you, you should know. But the fun fact is that people are now even WhatsApping marriage invitations as well.
Yes.
So they've gotten over the hustle of finalizing
Which
the
is
card.
fine, right? Save
Yeah.
the trees, save Earth.
Yeah, save the tree, save Earth. Wonderful. Keep on getting screen time as much as you can. But I'm an environmentalist. I would agree with Ms. Durrani that you need to go paperless now. I always believe in a cashless economy, how the world is moving. But Eid cards are special. Do you still know somebody who's actually following that trend?
Not now, but I do remember that we used to give Eid cards to each and every friend of ours before the school would close for Eid break, and there was a competition of having the most cards. So whoever would get the most cards is definitely the famous one, and that person would feel very special. And I remember we used to post the Eid cards in the beginning of Ramzan as well to our relatives who were abroad, and that way, or we would get them from them. It was a great feeling, but it has disappeared.
So one
over the
very
time.
important part of your life is that your career counselling as well.
Indeed.
I think that's wonderful. I can relate to that, doing that, being a public speaker myself. I think it becomes very interesting. So you talk to these people often, the younger generation.
Younger generation.
The times have changed, the sentiments have changed. Like Yasir bhai mentioned that because it's so technology where it said that the more we're connected to each other, the more we're actually disconnected from each other. So when you talk to these people, how do you try to inspire those values again, and you know, so we can keep that culture at least that we have?
This is a very, very tough part right now in these days, especially because when we try convincing them and we feel that we have done our part and they are already convinced, but then the other minute you see them the same way. So it's actually very tough these days. And taking the technology away from them or trying to tell them to come to the reality and face the reality without this technology is a very tough part as well.
Yeah. I mean, you can't tell your kid, just give me your phone. I mean, that's not possible, is it?
That's
Mr.
not
Rao?
Oh my
possible.
God, I have teenagers
Yeah.
in the house. So
Same
that,
here.
yeah, it is just talking about ourselves. We cannot live without technology. So how can you take technology away from children who were born with those in their hands, literally? You know?
But there must be something, some formula or something that we can
Nothing.
apply.
We are
There is actually, when you shut down the cellular service,
Yeah.
there are no signals, no internet.
Yeah, off internet.
Yeah, off internet.
from the
That
home.
that's the only time.
Yeah.
So probably one thing you can do is unplug your Wi-Fi router on Eid, but trust me, that won't work as well because you'll be the first person who actually wants to
Exactly,
check his
yes.
WhatsApp as well. But Yasir bhai, it's all about teaching your children. I think with technology, you can be responsible, and your children, you can actually tell them the values that you've enjoyed as a child as well.
Yeah, obviously you have to be, you know, make them relevant with the society and with culture as well. And obviously it's a very hard work as a parent nowadays. First of all, you have to be very hard working with yourself as well, because very distractive times these are. And after that, you have to tell your kids that what is right, what is wrong. Obviously, counseling and very, you know, in a good way, good manner.
That friendly relationship.
Friendly
should be there.
relationship. Try to teach them, you know, try to teach them with love and respect. That the kid do not feel humiliated when you tell them, don't do this, don't be harsh on them, you know. Very polite.
That's a big learning phase for me. I think Yasir bhai has really put it into good words. Often in our part of the world, aggressiveness seems to be there as a parent, and I think what that does is that disconnects you from your children. So when that bond is not going to be there, where your children are not comfortable talking to you, I think that's when problems start. That's where they won't talk about their personal problems, what they've been through at school, in their own lives, what they're going through, and I think that's where the divide comes in. But I think one more part on the parent side is that you try to spend more time with your children. I mean, I still remember dinner tables full with your parents, with your siblings, and talking about how the day's been. Now we see divided dinners, takeaway dinners in corners of each and every house, even out. So I think that needs to change. At least there should be one specific meal of the day, or probably a tea break where all of you are together with your children, just, you know, talking about general stuff, what's happened today as well. I think that might be the first step to changing things. But Misbah, that's very important, that the values we have enjoyed being children from our parents, grandparents, we can spread them to our children, and even like you mentioned, you're running an academy to those children as well.
Exactly, because as you see, we have made that technology as an integral part of our life, our daily life. So we cannot disconnect it. Like, it will take time maybe, because it requires a good parenting, a good mentoring maybe, because I as a coach can mentor my young girls, can you know, teach my young girls about the values, about the good values. And one good part, I think, is, you know, the way we engage them in sports, because we're taking them off from the screening time. So we are trying, and I am trying that, you know, getting them engaged in physical activities rather than the screen time.
Yeah, outdoors.
Yeah, outdoor physical activities.
That's very important. I think that really sets the tone for them to actually discipline themselves and understand the world outside as well. But that being said, you know, there are many special memories, but turning Yasir bhai from a player to a coach is different, isn't it? Because then you have to think as a coach, not as a player.
Yeah, it's a big transformation.
Have you enjoyed that so far?
No, initially you don't accept that you are becoming a coach, but eventually you realize that now it's time to
move on.
So that's a very different game altogether. You know, to coach someone when you are being coached, it's very different than that. So it really helps if you were a good listener
as a player.
That really helps when you tell someone and who's listening to you. And who is listening to you, you give your 100% to them. And who is not listening, someone like us some of the time. So it's a great challenge.
But during your times, you've had some tricky teammates who have never listened. That is a fact.
Yeah, a lot. Sometime I used to be.
You didn't look like the one. You always look like a disciplined player who would listen to his
coaches. I was very. I try myself to manage myself. In Test cricket, you cannot be all over the place. If you're facing top sides, you have to be very disciplined with your timetable, with your everything, with your process, with your thought process, with your.
So who was the most toughest coach that you've had as a Pakistani player? Who was the one that would enforce discipline and it would be very tricky to avoid him?
Actually, when you perform, the toughest coach becomes very comfortable. You go in very comfortable zone with him. And when you do not perform, even everyone is tough for you. So it depends on your
Your ability.
and your hard work at that point and your form.
But you know
Mostly.
that Pakistan and Pakistani media is lethal. If one bad performance, then they will forget everything.
Obviously, you know that. You know that.
You know,
You have to be very much, prepared for this. thing.
And prepared for those tricky questions as well. I mean, you'll be scoring hundreds and they'll be asking about your non-striker. So the things like that even happen as well. But continuing this, why I talk about this, because Yasir Bhai has had an illustrious career. I mean, among all of us, he will always be a legend. He is there as a test cricketer, as a person who's inspired so many young cricketers to take up the bat. So I truly think that Pakistan really owes you a lot. I've never had the opportunity, but thank you so much for always being there for Pakistan.
Yeah, I think it's a great honor for me to represent this country. Pakistan is a very special country, and we have something very special. When we play for Pakistan, it's always very different, something out of the world, out of the soul. You cannot
Describe it in words.
and it's very, and very different. On the moment you can describe it, but at that time you cannot describe after that.
Yeah, true.
That's
The adrenaline rush, the aura will always be there. True, being a national player, once you prepare the national colours, things change.
I agree, but we're not lucky enough to represent Pakistan every year, and it's different scenario for different games rather than cricket. They're lucky enough to get the opportunities to play either it's the girls team or the men's team, but things are different for different sports. If you talk about football, if you talk about volleyball in Pakistan,
They still need to grow.
It's a long way to go.
Long way to go. Truly long way to grow. A lot of infrastructure. But I think Eid is a wonderful opportunity to make resolutions, not just as individuals, but as a nation as well. Maybe we can make sure that each and one of us contributes as much as we can to different parts of life, to different sports as well, and make them grow. Obviously, we want to see a sports culture in Pakistan, and obviously that's what we hope for in the country as well. That being said, obviously it's Eid and time is a luxury we don't always have. I wish this could continue. I wish we could hear so many good memories of our wonderful guests that we have, but I understand that we still have a couple of days of Eid and the fervor would continue. But that being said, first of all, Malia, will start off with you. What would be your general message to the public on this Eid?
We have a beautiful country, and we should go out and visit our own places. And I would say, because Eid, this time the Eid has come with 4 days off.
Yes.
So when we join them with Saturday, Sunday, so it's 6 days break. So instead of going out somewhere abroad, you should visit our north.
Definitely.
Pakistan is beautiful. Yes.
Definitely. What about you, Hina? What would you like to say? I mean, over the years we've seen Eid. Now, especially this is the first Eid after COVID where there are no restrictions.
Right.
So what would you like to say to the public? What's your message on Eid?
My message would be just to be kind to each other. We as a country are going through a very tough situation these days politically, as we all know. So just be kind to each other, respect the other person's opinion, don't get into lame arguments, respect the other person, be kind, and just spread love all around.
Settle it over good food.
Absolutely. Yes.
And what about cycling? There needs to be a message about cycling
Just keep
as well.
cycling, come out, join us, join CMI, join us. Kids are most welcome to join. We have a lot of teenagers, we have like kids who are like 8, 9, 10 years old. Join us on our Sunday rides. And I would also like to ask the big organizations there out there to sponsor us, sponsor events, races, things like that, so that we can continue with this kind of culture and spend our time outdoors.
So for people who are listening to you and want to join CMI, what should be the first step for them?
The first step is to go on our Facebook page, look up CMI, which is Critical Mass Islamabad, and just join the group. There's no charge. We post our rides over there, and you can just show up, and we have lovely mentors who are going to take your hand and literally take you along on the rides, and it will be just a wonderful experience.
Definitely. Wonderful experience indeed, and I think most of you need to be part of this initiative. Living in Islamabad, even in Rawalpindi, you've got fantastic destinations. This is probably your time to take up cycling, not just as a hobby, but as a way of life. Who knows, you might even enjoy it as a commute to work as well. You never know. It's going to be wonderful because nature is always going to be here. In Islamabad, you've got that vibe as well, whether you're going up to the Margalas or even extending towards Murray on a professional level when you take it, enjoying the races in F9 Park, when you talk about that, Margala Road, everything is there for you to enjoy. And even the cycling Sundays on Jinnah Avenue, you're going to love that when you've got the whole road to yourself and no traffic. Yasir bhai, your message to all your fans out there on Eid.
My message is very clear, loud and clear. That like Mrs. Durrani said, Miss Durrani said that we have to be very gentle, very kind to each other. My message is almost like same, that we have to be very, kind, generous to each other, and we have to respect each other's opinion. This is very important. Pakistan is going through a very very tough phase at the moment politically. Politically, everyone is exploited. Someone is obviously everyone
Divided, right?
divided
Yes.
with politics, but it's all right. It's all right. But the goal should be for the Pakistan, for the betterment of the Pakistan. Be very kind, gentle. The time passes. You don't even know that how it passes. It passes very quickly. So if you are going through a hard time, be very patient. Believe in Allah, and if you are enjoying your time, very thankful to Allah and very kind to people. So it's very simple if we try to figure it out.
To figure it out, and I think most of us should figure it out. Like I said, settle your arguments over good food, make love to everybody, and don't let these things divide you.
And don't eat too much.
Don't
Be very kind on your stomach as well.
stomach as well. Obviously, after Ramzan, you don't want to overwork your body. Take it slow. But I think it's hard to resist, isn't it, when you've got fantastic stuff in front of you. Yasir bhai is used to that routine because, like I said, a person who debuted back in 2003 still looks the same as he debuted. So he knows the secret. We need to know that as well to balance our lifestyle. But that would be there. And I think at the end of the day, we're all Pakistanis. We're all one big family. So the message should be loud and clear that don't let these things divide you. Respect each other's opinion. Freedom of speech will always be there. It's one of the luxuries we enjoy in Pakistan. But treat it responsibly and with respect as well. Misbah, your message out there to people.
Yeah, my message would be like give time to your family, spend your Eid with your families, come out from your rat races and from your busy schedule, because these days everyone's busier in their own life. They have very busy schedules. So there's no COVID now, no restrictions. Come out and spend good times with your families, and of course, give respect and get respect.
And what about the people who want to join the academy? That's very important.
Yeah, so we have a social media platform for on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So it's Misbah Volleyball Academy. You can contact me there. So you can join us.
You can join there as well. But I think fantastic messages indeed as well. And at the same time, before I give my message, I think Misbah, thank you very much for you.
Thank you.
You've joined us on Eid. Eid Mubarak to you and your family. It's
Thank
been
you so
special. Yasir Meet, thank you very much, sir. Always an honor having you on the show, and having you on Eid has been even more special. Ms. Durrani, thank you so much to you as well. And we want people to know Hina Durrani is a cyclist now, so you can cycle out there. But Eid Mubarak to you and your family.
To you
and
as well.
Likewise, Malia Noor, thank you very much for joining us. It's been great having you on Eid. Eid Mubarak to you and your family as well.
Thank you.
Right, that wraps it up. And my message on Eid is always to remember those people who are from the less privileged background as well. But at the same time, I do want to recognize the services and the hard work and the dedicated work of the staff of our television industry, which you don't normally see. I mean, we're the ones on screen, but there's a whole team starting from our producers, from our researchers, coordinators, our cameramen, to our guys on the engineering department, the IT, the BOs, everybody involved, audio, the transmission controllers. I mean, I can go on and on, from the guard who's there out on the door to the entire news team and everybody involved, and even the people who are domestic help to us as well and serve us whenever we need them. To all of you, a very special Eid Mubarak. Thank you so much for being the reason why we are here and why we're having this transmission and this very special show as well. You deserve all the credit. It's because of all of you guys that we are able to go on screen professionally and look as we are and go as we want as well. And of course, a special shout out to our makeup staff as well. On that note, from me and the entire team of Sports Extra, from PTV World, PTV in general, from all of my guests as well who've joined us, a very happy and blessed Eid Mubarak to you and your family. Enjoy it responsibly. You still have 2 more days to come. So enjoy it. Do keep watching PTV World because we've got special programming on Eid as well. And of course, on this day, spread love, make peace with everyone, forget all the worries, forgive everyone as well, because forgiveness is the first part of our religion and of our life as well. Eid Mubarak from me and the entire team. It's goodbye for now.